The tragic case of Atul Subhash has reignited conversations around the complexities of marriage, patriarchy, and legal systems in India. Subhash, a software engineer, left behind a detailed suicide note and video accusing his estranged wife and her family of harassment. His death has sparked protests from men's rights activists and reopened debates about the misuse of laws like Section 498A, India's anti-dowry law. But this isn't just about the legal system. It's about the deeper, everyday patriarchy that thrives after marriage. While many discussions focus on dowries and false allegations, there's another layer to this issue: how societal expectations trap both men and women in rigid roles. Let's unpack it. Atul Subhash's case shows how financial disputes can escalate into devastating consequences. Women need to rethink the idea of financial security coming solely from their husbands. Your family property is yours too. In many Indian families, daughters don't demand their rightful share of property. This stems from a cultural mindset that assumes they will rely on their husbands for financial stability. But why should that be the norm? If you're willing to fight for equality, start with your own family. Claim what is legally and morally yours. Stop depending on alimony. Instead of looking for financial support post-divorce, ensure you're financially independent before marriage. This doesn't mean you can't ask for support when needed, but it shouldn't be your fallback plan. Real empowerment comes from having control over your finances from the beginning. One of the biggest patriarchal traps in India is the expectation that the bride's family will bear the brunt of wedding expenses. This outdated practice drains families financially and perpetuates the notion that women are a burden. Start the conversation early. If you're planning to get married, discuss splitting the costs with your partner. If he's reasonable and forward-thinking, he will understand. This isn't about being cheap. It's about dismantling the unnecessary financial pressures placed on women and their families. Normalize modest weddings. India's obsession with extravagant weddings only fuels these problems. Focus on what truly matters, your relationship and your future, not impressing society. A common source of tension in Indian marriages is the expectation that women will move in with their in-laws. This isn't just about tradition, it's about control. Living separately isn't disrespectful. Just as your parents live separately from their in-laws, it's normal for you to establish your own household. Staying nearby allows you to maintain close relationships without compromising your independence. Don't fall for emotional blackmail. If your husband insists on staying with his parents because they'll feel bad, remind him that this is a normal transition. Marriage should be about building a life together, not sacrificing your autonomy to fit into someone else's expectations. Many women in India see changing their surname after marriage as a loving gesture, but it's rooted in the idea that a woman's identity is tied to her husband. Keep your identity intact. Unity in marriage comes from shared values, not shared surnames. By retaining your maiden name, you send a powerful message to younger generations that love and respect don't require erasure of individuality. Lead by example. Your choices influence how the next generation views gender roles. Show them that marriage doesn't mean losing yourself. Equality isn't about expecting men to do everything. It's about sharing responsibilities and building a partnership where both contribute equally. Stop expecting perfection. Your husband isn't your savior, therapist, or sole provider. Learn to meet him halfway. Share emotional, financial, and household responsibilities. Financial independence is key. If you're earning, contribute to the household. This isn't just about money. It's about creating a partnership that feels fair and balanced. Atul Subhash's case also highlights how men are trapped by patriarchal expectations. They're expected to provide, protect, and endure without complaint, even in toxic situations. Men need support systems too. Society often mocks men who speak up about harassment or emotional abuse. It's time to acknowledge that patriarchy is a double-edged sword. Advocating for gender equality means creating systems that protect everyone, men and women alike. Demand gender-neutral laws. Laws like Section 498A were created to protect women, but when misused, they can destroy lives. The solution isn't to repeal these laws, but to make them fairer. Gender-neutral legal protections can ensure justice for all. Real gender equality requires both men and women to challenge societal norms. It's not about blaming one side, it's about taking collective responsibility. Women need to step up, fight for your rights within your family, stop letting patriarchal traditions dictate your choices. Financial independence, property rights, and autonomy are non-negotiable. Men need to reflect, stop seeing independence as a threat. Supporting your partner's autonomy doesn't diminish your role. It strengthens your relationship. The tragic loss of Atul Subhash is a stark reminder of the societal pressures that come with marriage in India. From dowry demands to unrealistic expectations, the system is failing both men and women. It's time to dismantle these outdated norms and build relationships based on equality, respect, and mutual support. Let's stop romanticizing sacrifices and start demanding real change together.